JBNN will keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and to share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. 9-year-old among 3 shot, 1 fatally in Cobburn Pen. A 52-year-old man was killed and 2 others, including a 9-year-old child, were injured during a gun attack in Cobburn Pen, St. Andrew, on Sunday night. The deceased has been identified as Leroy Thompson of York Avenue in the community. Reports from the Hunts Bay Police indicate that the incident occurred around 9 p.m. at a premises along York Avenue. Armed men reportedly opened fire on a group of people, hitting 3 individuals before escaping. All 3 victims were taken to the hospital, where Thompson was pronounced dead, and the other 2 remain hospitalized with gunshot wounds. The St. Andrew South Police Division continues to lead the investigation into the shooting. The division currently records the highest number of homicides island-wide since the start of the year. As of October 4, the division has reported 61 murders, contributing to the national murder toll of 522. The police are urging anyone with information about the incident to contact the Hunts Bay Police Station or Crime Stopper 311. Motorcyclist dies following crash with coaster bus in St. Elizabeth. A motorcyclist is dead following a collision with a coaster bus along the Frenchman Main Road in St. Elizabeth on Saturday. The deceased has been identified as Davian Roy, otherwise called Banga, a farmer of Slap District in the parish. Reports from the police are that both vehicles were traveling in opposite directions along the roadway when the crash occurred. Upon approaching a corner, Roy reportedly lost control of the motorcycle, causing it to fall and slide along the road surface before colliding with the front of the coaster. Roy sustained multiple head injuries and was rushed to the Black River Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police suspect gang conflict behind gruesome attack in Commodore, Linstead. A deadly shooting in Commodore, Linstead, St. Catherine on Sunday night has left 5 people dead, including a 4-year-old girl and 4 others injured. Police investigators believe the attack may be linked to an ongoing gang conflict in the area. According to reports from the St. Catherine North Police, the incident occurred around 8:45 p.m. at a location popularly known as Big Yard. It is reported that a group of people was gathered there playing games when armed men dressed in police fatigues entered the premises. The men reportedly shouted police before opening fire with high-powered rifles, hitting all 9 people at the scene. The attackers then fled the area. The 5 deceased victims have been identified as Shannon Gordon, 4, a student of Rosemount Primary and Infant School of Orange Park, Charlemont, Linstead; Mario Sullivan, 42, of Rosemount District, Linstead; Duchesne Edwards, 19, of Rosemount District, Linstead; Leisha Washington, 39, a vendor of Rosemount District, Linstead; and Famous Amos, 22, a security guard of Commodore District, Linstead. The 4 injured victims were rushed to the hospital, where they remain under treatment. Assistant Commissioner of Police Christopher Phillips, who leads Era 5, visited the scene and described the situation as deeply troubling and senseless. He noted that investigators are actively pursuing leads pointing to a gang-related motive, though no arrests have yet been made.
Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of Era 5. Right, we are in the community of Commodore in the Linstead police area. A very unfortunate and I might say a very awful scene where 9 persons were shot, 5 persons have so far confirmed dead, and we are here trying to put together, the pieces to determine what really triggered such an awful situation. The community of Linstead has been doing pretty well since this year. Last year, this time, they were seeing something like 20-odd murders compared to just 8 murders up to this point until we have this very unfortunate situation. The indicators so far are suggesting that this might be a continuation of gang conflict, which comes as a surprise to us because really and truly this area has been quiet for a while. And so now we have all our senior investigators, we have several senior officers who are on scene. We're trying to quickly, ensure that we have a strong response to the situation here. Unfortunately, in the numbers, we have a 4-year-old who, was brutally killed earlier. We are disturbed by what happened. The community is in shock. And so we are going to be providing the kind of leadership and resources that will bring a speedy resolve to this situation. Well, we confirmed that we have 6 males and 3 females who were impacted, and as I indicated, 2 females died and 3 males died from the encounter. Right. It started along the roadway into a yard along Commodore. Sometime there about 8:45 thereabout. It was reported that several men came down the road, rushed in the yard, and pretending to be police officers. In fact, it was said that they were dressed. Some of the men were dressed in police looking vests, which is pretty concerning for us as investigators at this time, because it doesn't represent the kind of operations of the police. Well, it's what we would refer to as a big yard kind of setting, several houses within the confined space, really a family setting. Most persons were enjoying their Sunday afternoon. The interesting thing is that it's not a yard that is strange to the police, because we've had reasons before to visit that location on numerous occasions. So we're aware, of some of the long-standing issues and challenges that were impacting that particular family. This police zone, last year this time we had something in the region of 20 odd murders, and just 8 murders up to this point. Linstead space in particular was just seeing 4 murders up to this point. So as I said before, Linstead was doing pretty well, and so this really comes as a shocker to us.
Meanwhile, Minister of National Security and Peace, Dr. Horace Chang, has strongly condemned the gun attack. Chang, in a statement on Monday, called the attack brutal, senseless, and reprehensible. The deliberate disregard for human life, especially the life of an innocent child, strikes at the very core of our humanity. Our hearts go to the grieving families and the community, now reeling from this unimaginable loss, said Chang. He said the matter has been intensely investigated, and the criminals will be relentlessly pursued, apprehended, and prosecuted. I have every confidence that the police will bring them to justice. Will not rest until accountability is secured. I call on every citizen to stand united against violence. We must not allow fear or lawlessness to define our communities. Each of us has a role to play in protecting our children, our families, and our future, the Security Minister said. Over 300 road deaths recorded since the start of the year. Jamaica has recorded 301 road fatalities since the start of the year, pushing the country past a grim milestone as road crashes continue to claim lives at an alarming rate. The latest victims are a 31-year-old Washington Smith of Smoothland District and a 17-year-old Omarion Roy of Seven Corners, both from St. Elizabeth. The 2 men died following a head-on collision between their motorcycles along the Mount Plymouth Main Road. Reports indicate that neither rider was wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. Reacting to the tragedy, Dr. Lucian Jones, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, expressed deep concern about the country's rising fatality rate. He warned that, at the current pace, Jamaica could surpass last year's total of 365 road deaths and possibly exceed 400, which he described as a national disaster.
Unless something dramatic happens, we are going to exceed the number of persons who died last year, which was 365. And in fact, experts are warning us that we may exceed 400, which will be a national disaster. What can be done about this? A number of things. The number one thing that we have to institute on an urgent basis now is to have the demerit point system working so that all drivers will have a sense of dread that if they continue to speed and to drive recklessly and to break the law, then they can have demerit points accumulated and they can have their license suspended. This is a big thing which needs urgent intervention by the state.
Canadian man charged after ganja allegedly found in suitcase at Kingston Airport. A 20-year-old Canadian national has been arrested and charged after airport authorities allegedly found 2 pounds of ganja in his luggage at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Sunday. The accused, Ravid Singh, of an Ontario, Canada address, has been charged with possession of ganja, dealing in ganja, and taking steps preparatory to exporting ganja. According to police reports, around 9:20 a.m. on October 5, airport personnel conducted a search of Singh's luggage during routine checks and reportedly discovered the illegal substance. He was arrested on the spot and later formally charged following investigations. A court date is being finalized for his appearance. JBN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.